support our coverage with a free account on Privacy, the service that keeps you protected when shopping online. Get $5 to try it now by using promo code QZZ2J.
Our next guest is here. Hello.
Good morning. How are you today?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Getting ready to wrap things up.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Almost there.
Go ahead and introduce yourself for me.
My name's Mike. I'm the founder of On Air Warning, and our product that we're demoing today is called MuteKit. And it's a total mute solution that works with most of your video conference applications. And the idea is to have a sure way to know that your mic and camera are both off or they're on. And in your business, you know how important that is.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that we wish we were allowed to do. They won't let us put up anything here.
Okay.
We want so badly to be able to alert people that we're on air, especially as they come up the stairs, as a reminder. But we're not allowed to do any of that. That's a whole different issue.
Well, we got you covered.
So let's talk about what you've got here.
Okay, so basically the initial premise of On Air Warning happened during COVID when my wife came back to teach from the house and shared my office space with me. I would have to walk past her like 9 or 10 times a day and constantly looking for that little tiny mic mute, camera mute thing in the corner or like a little itty bitty light.
Yeah.
And I went on a quest to find a product that would let me know if her mic or her camera were on. And there was nothing that was available. So we launched our first product, the On Air Warning Light, back in June of 2021. And we were pretty successful with it. We did a Kickstarter. We raised $50,000. We developed the product. And then we realized that we needed something more to it. And that was software development, right? We had the initial product working, and it just worked with Zoom primarily. And then in order to get it to work with other applications and actually be a more definitive mute, so that when you mute your mic, you know that Cortana's not listening to you or Siri's not listening to you. So we went at a deeper level on that. And then also we figured out how to do the camera mute as well. And also did some neat things with redirecting it that I'll show you in a minute.
Okay, so we have a little 3-button keyboard here.
Correct, and I'd like you to hold it in your hand for a second.
Okay.
And most people are surprised it's not a plastic. There's 2 layers of steel that are part of it, and it weighs more than twice of what any similar macro board or keyboard would do. And the primary difference, aside from the quality of the build of the equipment, is that it's got a controller chip in there that not only sends a signal to the computer, but also receives a signal back that the mic and camera are muted. And the neat thing is the center one, the center light here, the center light on the keyboard, and the center light on the graphical user interface on the screen, they all coordinate. And when you enter a meeting, so here I'll start I can't read backwards. New meeting. So you'll see the minute that the meeting starts, the center lights go on.
Okay.
So this is really good, not just when you're starting a meeting, but when you're bored with a meeting and you're doing a spreadsheet, you're multitasking, you're 3 windows into something or 4 windows into something, and you forget that the meeting's even going on after everyone's left because you don't hear them anymore. They all said goodbye, you were ignoring them, and now an hour later,
because you've got actual productive things that need to be done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So an hour later, you realize you're
every
still
day
in the meeting all the time. So you'll notice that the mic and camera are both muted. So you'll see the mic mute and unmute.
Yep.
And the lights go off in 3 different places when you're doing it. And also it's recognized by Google Meet and Microsoft Teams. And then you'll notice that we can unmute the camera, unmute the mic.
Hi, Adam.
Or what we like to do, I call it Armageddon mode.
Okay.
Right? You're sitting there working from home, or you're working in an home example, kids throwing up, dogs barking, someone enters the room, maybe not properly dressed. We had someone tell us a story that he didn't realize his wife was on a Zoom call, and he went into the room and started changing.
Whoops.
Yep. And obviously they're the famous Zoom fails like Tubin and, various things.
It's exactly what I've been thinking the whole time. When you pitched this to me yesterday, he is who I was thinking about.
There you go. Well, we have, not only would you know, but if something unexpected happens quickly, you can hit the Armageddon button mic and camera off at the same time. But
Gotcha.
you know from doing Zoom meetings, I think I could just close that, that people, when they turn their camera off, they usually get a black screen. You get someone's name. You get a circle with an initial in it.
Yeah.
And then the person comes back to the meeting, and everyone's like, okay, well, what happened? And then if it happens again, they're like, okay, is he sick? Is there an emergency? And it's a distraction to the meeting. So what we invented was something called instant selfie mode.
Okay.
So if you take our software interface, which I'll make it a little larger so you could see it,
Nice.
and you turn on instant selfie. So we've got our live camera here, and actually let me make it smaller. That's kind of in the way. And then what happens is, if you're, can I turn this towards you for a moment?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in the camera view?
I am.
Okay. So now you've got Armageddon mode. Look at the camera, look really interested, and boom. And then you're frozen. Got it? Now strike the same pose. Hit the button when you're ready to go back. It's not for a meeting of 2 or 3 people, but
Sure.
if you're in with more than 4 or 5 people, no one will ever know. And we did it so that it's not so much to be deceptive and not work, but to understand that people that work from home or work in Zoom meetings a lot have to balance their real world interaction with their online interaction.
Yeah.
And your bosses can't always expect you to be sitting there paying attention, focused 100% of the time. And a lot of people feel that they have to do that.
Because FedEx is going to knock on the door at some point.
Exactly. And nature's going to call at some point.
Indeed. And if you're on a 2-hour, corporate presentation call, you got to deal with it.
Exactly. So we've developed the software. We've actually done our second Kickstarter, which was the kit together.
Okay.
So it was one of the lights, the switch, and the software. And we were successful with that. We did $56,000. We met our goal in the first hour on
Nice.
Kickstarter. And since then, we've received our shipment. We've got 5,000 units of everything sitting in a warehouse, and our orders are shipping from our on-air warning or MuteKit website. Place the order, and it'll ship within 24 hours anywhere.
Very cool. Now I have to try something.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to toggle.
Got it.
I was just curious if one of them was on and the other one wasn't, that would. Because I saw you hit it once, and everything came on. So I was just making sure it wasn't going to toggle
got
one
it.
on, one off. Yeah, the panic button does do exactly what you need it to do.
We made it default to off.
Yeah.
Which is, yesterday I got caught a few times because I was playing with instant selfie, and I would have that, I'd be off or one of them would be on, and I'd hit it expecting the camera to come back on, but since the mic was on, it just, every time you hit the center button, it either mutes them both, and if they're both muted, then it'll unmute them together.
Yeah, it's not just a hard toggle.
Exactly.
Yeah, you put thought into this, and that's great. It really is a cool product because, there was the guy doing the interview on TV, and the kid came running in.
Uh-huh.
This kind of stuff happens all the time.
Yep. And people are becoming immune to it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't do many calls with more than 3 or 4 people, but I obviously deal with a lot of people, and a lot of our customers have stories that they tell.
Yeah.
And we have people that actually, I've got 5 of these in my office.
Okay.
I've got them all around my monitor. We've got a vertical version that's on the side of my monitor. I've got a 60-foot cable to my door jamb. So just outside my door is one of these things.
Yeah.
And I had a group of people come from out of country, and they said, "Why would you need such a big light or two light?" And I go, "I've got 5 of them, and I've got one of my 4 kids will see the light on and think it's a good time to photobomb Dad."
Sure.
So you can't be too careful, and certainly I know I have moments where I'm like, especially the scenario we talked about before, where you're in a Google Meet meeting and everyone exits. You're doing your spreadsheet, you're doing your productive work, everyone leaves, right? and you don't realize that the meeting's way behind there, and you get up, go to the bathroom, you do whatever, and sometimes I don't get caught till the light on the door. And I realize, oh, we're still lit up.
Whoops.
I need to go dig, and I'll have 30 windows open on my system.
Yeah.
So you have to go dig in order to find it. One of the cool things that we're developing right now, if we could talk about that,
Sure.
okay, is that we've actually added a button bar to the GUI. Let me exit the meeting, and you'll see when you exit, the center light goes off, just as it's supposed to do. So we've added to the GUI the ability to put up to 5 buttons on the bottom that you control as hotkeys.
Okay.
All right. So for Google, when I use Zoom, I have one of them that's exit meeting, share screen, raise your hand, participants. So that way I don't have to, even when the stuff's buried,
Yeah.
if a meeting ends, I can just click on the software and end the meeting. So
That's cool. You did a Kickstarter. They're shipping. If people want to find out more about the product and when a new batch
Sure.
might be available for sale,
MuteKit.com, MuteKit, and or On Air Warning is the parent company, leads you to the same site. We've done a good job with a setup video, and
Excellent.
you can download the software. And also for people that don't necessarily find an interest in the hardware itself, the software is available for $2.99 a month. It's on subscription.
Okay.
So you can download the software, try it, use Instant Selfie. If you like it, subscribe. 30 days, it'll say plug in a light or buy a subscription. And we haven't advertised it until now.
Right.
And we've got like 15 people that have been paying for the last 3 or 4 months since our Kickstarter.
very cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming up.
Appreciate it. My
Have a
pleasure.
good one. The Tech Podcast Network CES 2024 coverage is executive produced by Michelle Mendez. Technical directors are Kurt Corliss and Adam Barker. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Clinton Millsap, Sergio Velasquez, and Terry Willingham. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Bain, Todd Cochran, Scott Ertz, and Christopher Jordan. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. This has been a Tech Podcast Network broadcast, copyright 2024.